Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Would the world be a better place if we had less of you? This is going to be from Deuteronomy chapter 31. This is Moses' end of his life. Chapter 34, he's going to die. So here in chapter 33, he's going to bless the 12 tribes. He's going to start with one, and I got stuck on that, so here we go. Chapter 33, verse 1. This is the blessing with which Moses, the man of God, blessed the people of Israel before his death. And he says, he's going to say here for a second, let me just pause. So let's talk about blessing. Have a blessing to give. Be of a blessing spirit in your core. When it comes right down to it, as Moses' life gets pared down, less time, less abilities, can't walk, all this stuff is whittled away from his life. At the remaining core, the last thing he wants to do is bless, which is so beautiful. Next, give this blessing before you go to heaven. Your blessing may be needed here, so find someone to bless so that the world wants more of you. And then live a life where you're attached to the Lord. Moses, it says here of Moses, comma, the man of God. So be so attached to the Lord that when your name is mentioned, the Lord's name is also mentioned. So then he's going to talk about the Lord here before he starts his blessing. The Lord came from Sinai and dawned from Seir upon us. He shone forth from Mount Paran. He came from the 10,000s of the holy ones. He comes from heaven with flaming fire at his right hand. And yes, he loved his people. All his holy ones were in his hand. So they followed in your steps, receiving direction from you when Moses commanded us a law, as a possession for the assembly of Jacob. Thus the Lord became king in Jeshurun, when the heads of the people were gathered and all the tribes of Israel together. So here's the great mystery, in my humble opinion, that the Lord comes from heaven, comes from this place of 10,000 holy ones, and yet he loves his people. He has mercy. He extends grace. He comes for us and he loves us. Well, at this point, the Lord is king. Now, they're going to fool around and make a king of Israel, Saul, and later David and Solomon. And on the whole, that does not go well. Then we enter in this section where he starts to bless the people of Israel. However, he doesn't start with a blessing. He really starts with kind of this curse or an observation. Here it is. This is from verse 6. Let Reuben live and not die, but let his men be few. So this refers back to a time back in Genesis. In chapter 49, verse 3, it says, Reuben, you're my firstborn, my might, the firstborns of my strength, preeminent in dignity, preeminent in power, unstable as water. You shall not have preeminence, because you went up to your father's bed, you defiled it, he went up to my couch. So here's the legacy of the firstborn. He defiles his father's couch, and this was about 19 generations ago, best I could figure, if you count a generation as being 25 years. And the irony here is that in Moses' blessing, he doesn't start with the traditional blessing. He does start with the oldest guy, Reuben, but he lives this out-of-bounds sexual life, disrespectful to women and man, specifically his father, and therefore he suffered the consequences. So it's still not a good people group, even 19 or so generations later. He's saying the world will be a better place if we have less of you and your kind of people. He's saying, I bless the world. Moses is saying, I bless the world by blessing it with less of you. It's just an amazing thing. So he had abdicated good leadership amongst his brothers, Reuben did, maybe led the Joseph murder and eventually slavery story. And he could have done better. He could have not agreed to this. And at the end, we need less of you, that the world would be a better place if there are less of you and those like you. Moses is saying the world will be added to by subtracting more of you and your ilk. So Reuben, he preserves his life, but doesn't give him this abundance. And perhaps you've experienced the harsh reality is that in general, sexual sin begets sexual fruitlessness. So Reuben's inheritance privileges are taken away from him and given to the sons of Joseph. So he was supposed to have preeminence amongst his brothers, but in the end, this censure is mentioned first off in the blessings of Moses. So he's given this life, even this unstable, disobedient kind of person can still enjoy the common graces of mankind. He still gets life, he still gets creation, he still gets sunrises, he still gets marriage, he still gets children. It's just this sobering testament that to the opportunities that this particular person personally squandered. So the prayer, I think, in the teaching point is, oh, Lord, help me to be careful in the stewardship of the life that I have, in the positions, in the privileges, in the empowerments as I stand before you, because I'm going to stand in judgment someday. So don't be that guy, that the world would be a better place if we have less of you. All right, so there's two big points here today. Number one is be a blesser. So build your family, build your church, build your Bible study people. How? By blessing them. So be a blessing today by going and literally blessing those people around you. So be a blessing by proclaiming the blessing maybe that they are to you. And then secondly, this cautionary tale. Don't be the gal who is not one to bless the world by having less of you. So be the guy that the world cries out, hey, we need more of people like you. So let's use the resources that that God gives. Let's limit our freedoms to the freedoms that he gives his followers. Don't go out of bounds. That's certainly one of the things. Now, there's 11 more brothers to come, 11 more tribes, 11 more people groups. I just got stuck on the one because what a sobering thing that the world will be a better place if we have less of you. So don't be that person. Be a blesser. Attach yourself to God and be the person that the world wants more of. And don't be the person for whom the world would be a better place if we have less of you. Thanks for listening.